All right, ladies and gentlemen, in my quest to leave a mark on the culture and make hip hop proud, I'd like to welcome you all to another episode of The Essence, presented by Tent TV, powered by Validated Radio and Live 89 FM. Today, I have a bona fide MC in the building, a Connecticut representative, someone who studied the art form of hip hop and is constantly upping his craft to be one of the best to ever hold a microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome ANoyd to episode 15 of The Essence.
Yes, sir.
Going on,
I'm
B?
here, man. What's good, King? I'm here, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
you here.
I like the intro. I like
Thank
the
you,
intro, man. You know what I mean? I feel good. He taught me up real nice.
You know, I got to do it right for you. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Definitely. The last time we spoke, man, was 2018. We actually met that time. You was at the Mint in LA, the Raw Thoughts tour with Chris Webby and Armin. So it's good to catch up with you again for this interview. This is for Validated Radio. This is also going to be for Validated Indie, which is an independent magazine that we're putting out for the independent artists. And you're going to be on the cover of the first issue. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine.
And I had to show you that love, man. I would be remiss if I didn't say that you're my favorite MC right now, and that's just real talk. You know what I'm saying? And it's been like that for a little while now, but you're so fucking consistent, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love that, man. I love the consistency, bro. So let's start off with the post that you put up today with you bringing it back to the essence, being that this is the show, The Essence, Hubbard Street, man, which dropped today on Burgundy Tuesdays. First quote, like, your mama still sends you affirmations to your phone. Like how does that's gotta make you feel real good, bro. How does that make you feel, man?
Bro, it's like everybody know, man, my mom is my rock, you know what I'm saying? And like the fact that, like taking it back, my mom always supported me, man, and on my journey and my rap journey. I remember I called her like, yo, my job fired me. I get to do music full time, and she was so super excited. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what this shit is, you know what I'm saying? So just that let alone right there, just to let you know, man. Like my mom's is my rock. She always had my back since forever. So, and she still do. Still sending me affirmations to my phone every day. You know what I mean? Different quotables and things that I can just take on. In my journey every day. Like it's like clockwork. Monday through Sunday.
Monday through Sunday, every day.
Every day, it's a new affirmation.
So even if you're going through something, she gonna give you something to work with for the day.
Every morning. It's like a ritual. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's in like a group chat. So it's like everybody in my family that want the affirmations. It just sends it every day. It's like a new affirmation every day. So it's like. I just wanted to start it out like that, just to let people know where we taking it. We set the tone. We took it back to the essence. And when you gave us when you said that when you was doing the intro, I'm like, I just took it back to the essence today. You know what I'm saying? Hubbard Street vibes. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. So you even talked about your little bro, man, researching entrepreneurship at the age of 8. Like, how does it make you feel to see him doing that when it took you longer to get to that point? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it just lets me know, man, the generations change, and like the kids are getting smarter as time goes on. You know what I mean? It's like they have the internet. Back we were just outside riding bikes. Not saying that wasn't a great thing, because it's like that times is there's times. You know what I mean? Like you can't really change that, but it's like now it's like the kids got iPads and iPhones at an early age, and if they don't know how to do something, they can just YouTube it, or like YouTube is like, that's like the new university. Like you don't even got to go to college; you can learn everything on YouTube. So and he's just like super tapped in. He's great in school. He's super good at math, super good at everything, and it's just inspiring me, because I look at that, I'm like, yo, that's mad inspiration, just to realize
that's
that
gotta make you proud. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like just being that woke and that tapped into like ownership as a small, like he's an 8-year-old kid, like, and just to think about ownership that early, like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy, bro.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Crazy. Yeah, definitely. You also talked about your pops on Hubbard Street, about how he wasn't there when he left to pursue his dream of music. How did you feel about that when you were young? And then on the contrast side, how do you feel about that now that you're an artist and you're chasing your dream of music?
Yeah, and like I said in the song, it's like I understood it as I got older. Because back in the day, like I didn't understand. Like I was asking my mom, like, "Yo, where's my dad? Where's my dad? Where's my dad at?" And she was like, "Not here." You know what I'm saying? He's on the road doing his thing. He's doing his music thing.
Right.
And it's like, as a young kid, you don't really understand that because like I didn't want to rap that early until I got to freshman, sophomore year of high school. So it was like I didn't really get realization that music can take over your whole life, even
Absolutely.
when you got, you know what I'm saying? Like it literally just take over everything. Like whatever you got going on in real life, it's like, holy shit, I gotta do music. Like this is my first love. So it's like, I'm just looking at it, man. Like now I realize that like I forgive them because it's like music can take you there, man. It could really make you sacrifice so many things. And something as huge as fatherhood is like, it's just crazy. Just like, and who am I to be just spiteful and not forgive my dad for following his dream and following his heart. You know what I'm saying? Because and like I said in the song, like you picked a great woman to know that she could potentially be a mom and a dad. And fill your physical form if she had to, you know what I'm saying? So it's true. Man, I just tapped into so much stuff in that song, and I'm super excited to know that my dad is super like, because he commented on the post,
I saw
like
it.
fire,
I saw it.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, come on now, like it's like we understand, like we talk about life, and when we talk about real life, there's no boundaries. Like you can talk about anything, you know what I mean? Because as much as I tore him down on that song, I brought him up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I tore him down, but I brought him up at the end. So it's like Hubbard Street vibes.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
Yes,
See, I love when an artist does that. Like when they really, I mean, you've always done that, but I love when an artist gives you a piece of themselves. You know what I mean? When you leave a piece of yourself on the track, that's just something that people feel, it resonates. You know what I mean? So I love when artists do that, man.
Hell yeah, bro.
What was your earliest memory of hip hop culture, period? Like the earliest thing that you can remember?
I would say because I really started out like rapping because of Dipset, bro. Like Dipset, Joel Santana, Cameron, like the whole Dipset movement. That's what made me start rapping. Like I just fell in love with the energy that they had and the flow patterns and the beats and everything. Like that's why we started rap. That's why I started rapping. I started rapping. I don't know if you heard of J.R. Writer. You heard of J.R. Writer?
Yeah, I know J.R. Writer.
Yeah. So it's like, yo, he was my favorite rapper at one. Like that's who made me start rapping.
Okay.
J.R. Writer made me started rapping. Like it's like, of course, it was in my blood, but it was like of course, my dad, having the music in my blood, but that's where I got my inspiration from. And it's like my first mixtape ever, like my first mixtape I ever put out is on thatpiff.com, and I'm sounding like J.R. Writer on every song. It's like, and my first rap name was A.R. White because it was like, J.R. Writer and A.R. Like it was like I was like. And I don't even think he noticed, but it's like, it's just dope, man. Like Dipset really raised me, and that's the first time I actually felt like, yo, I really want to rap like J.R. Writer and Dipset. These niggas is like lit, and it's early. I'm young and I'm watching YouTube, and we just listening like, and I ain't really listening to like Nas and Biggie until like as time went on. Like as time went on, I started tapping into Jay-Z, Nas, and all and Killer Army. Wu-Tang, like I'm start tapping into Big Pun and all that shit, like because as time go on, you YouTube and beats, you like, this beat crazy. Who is this Mob Deep? So I didn't get into that until like as time went on. I didn't really get into that until like I would say like maybe like junior or senior year. But yeah, like early years, hip hop culture, I was listening to Dipset. That's it. Straight Dipset.
That's a good way. That's a good way to be introduced to the culture, bro. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Definitely. I know Nas is one of your idols as well, as far as hip hop is concerned. And I know the last time we talked, you said that you had a sealed copy of Illmatic that you were waiting for him to sign. Did that ever happen yet, or are you still waiting for that day to take place?
I'm still waiting for that day to take place, bro, and I got it right here. I still
got
it
it right there.
Still got it in the plastic. It's still a little run down, but I still don't even know what it look like on the inside.
Yeah, definitely.
I still, you know what I mean.
It's that's gonna stay in plastic forever. You ain't gonna never play that.
Like until I see him.
Until you see him, right?
Until I see him. I stamp. I made a promise to myself like a long time ago when I bought it off Amazon. I was like, yo, I'm never gonna open this until I meet Nas. And I was supposed to meet him like a couple years ago. I think it was like 2016. Because I started bringing it to me to all the interviews that I was going to in the city.
Right,
and, know, and everybody started to tap in like, oh, we got the kid with the Illmatic vinyl and in his book bag, and so Nas heard it. Nas heard the story. He was like, oh yeah, like have him come through. And then I was supposed to go up there, and then I guess he had a busy schedule, so it just the stars never lined up for it. And I always looked at that like, all right, well, it's not my time yet.
Was it the time? Yeah, it's coming though. It's coming.
I know it's coming, and I still got it here. You know the vibes.
No doubt, definitely. Let's jump into 2020, man. Last year, what kind of adjustments did you have to make to keep eating in the midst of the pandemic, man? What did you have to do to keep things shaking?
Early pandemic, honestly, like I started getting into my hustler bag, man. I'm like, yo, what can I do, man? We can't go on tour. What can I do? I start, I start just like getting in my bag, start working on new music as everybody else did. They like, oh, we got mad downtime. We just gonna work on some music. So I started working on music and shit, and then doing all that shit. And then, I had DMs. Yo, what's good? How much you charge for a feature? I sliced my number in half, man.
Yeah.
I sliced my number in half. Yeah, I was doing features for whatever you had, 250, 300. I do it for I was really like hustling out, trying to get it. I lay the feature, boom, 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 send it back the day of. They be like, damn, like I did at least like 10 or 20 verses. You know what I'm saying? So I was just getting in that bag. What else I was doing, man? I think that's it. Honestly, obviously try to get into the weed and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you go back to what you know. So you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, so I did that for like a couple months, and I'm like, all right, this shit corny. Like, I can't. Like, it's just you got to be out there actually. Like, and I'm not that type of person where it's like I'm like, I'm up here as far as like Connecticut. So it's like, niggas can be like, oh, that's ANoyd selling weed out here.
Yeah, you can't.
No, I'm
not.
That's
not a good look right there.
I'm not gonna be that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, I did that for a little bit, and then, just started getting right on the features and shit, and get my business right. Cause I really wanted to get my business right. That's why I did the deal with Webby and shit. Because a lot of things wasn't like in order, like my metadata and all this other stuff, that all the analytical shit that goes into music and like, it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of shit.
I was gonna get into that too. I was gonna get into
like this shit. I'm learning. I'm learning new shit as I go. Every day I learn something new. I learned something new today that I didn't even know. So it's like just being in this situation makes me learn so much. So early pandemic when this shit happened, I was like, all right, I gotta actually like get my business right, because I could be making money off of this shit every month. I could be getting money from streaming every month that I wasn't getting before. So.
Right. Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you participate in any of the protests, or how did you use your voice beyond music to bring some awareness to the struggles of Black and brown people when all the protests and everything was going on last year?
Yeah, I definitely had my fair share of protests out here. It was a whole bunch of them. I lived downtown, so people was walking downtown and shit. So I would just go out there, and it was a dark time. Dark time in the world, and something just overcomes you. Like, you can't just sit around on your ass. Like, you just got to do something. So I got up off my ass, and I was like, yo, my people marching. So fuck it, we gotta move militant and move together.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Of course, outside of, in the rap, I put out the Black Baby record, because it was dark. Like, it was really dark. Like, you couldn't put out no music unless it was talking about
what was going on.
What was going on. So it's like, I looked at it and I'm like, all right, man, like, I gotta put something out, but it gotta be in that same vein. And I'm this perfect nigga to do that, because I come cut from that cloth. I could tell a story about whatever. You know what I mean? Make it dope, and the lines is there. I'm a writer, so I could convey that message, and so I was outside, man. That's all I could say. I was
That's
outside.
what's up. That's what's up. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So there's a lot of deaths going on in hip hop, right? And there's a lot of cats that are getting locked up that are at a level in the game where they shouldn't be getting locked up. Most recently, YFN Lucci, Casanova 2 times. King Vaughn got killed. What do you do to move differently so that you don't fall into those type of pitfalls, man?
Honestly, bro, you just gotta watch who you around and watch where you at. You know, every time I go out, I always keep my head on the swivel. I always make sure, you know, the scenery is right and who I'm with, you know, it's like you don't want to be hanging around people that's like cut from that cloth and that could potentially put you in a situation that you don't need to be put in, bro. I got a son on the way, you know, I'm about to be a father.
Congratulations, bro. Congrats.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's like ever since then, it's like I just been thinking. Even before then, I was thinking like, you know, I'm people get shot out here. You know what I mean? Where I'm from, it's like you never really know, and I'm annoyed. Of course, I'm here, and I'm all about love and peace. But it could be that one person that's like, yo, I don't really like annoyed, and I'm gonna get him the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? They say the love about outweighs the hate, but it's always that one person.
It's always that one person. Yep.
Bro, so it really doesn't. So at the end of the day, it's like you just gotta watch who you're around and just keep your head on the swivel, man.
Yeah.
Like just be careful, bro. Every time I go out, I'm like, yo, where I'm at. Okay, all right, boom. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely, always on the P's and Q's. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
So you did 4.1 million streams on Spotify in 2020.
Yes, I did.
973,000 listeners in 92 countries. How much of an improvement was that for you from the previous year?
It was huge. I think the previous year I was at 1 million or something. I think the previous year I was at 1 million, and now I'm at like, what I was at, like 4.9, what was it? Like at least close to 5. Might as well call it 5. You know, round up. Round up. So, you know, like the elevation is there, man, and it was all about just like finding out what my fans wanted from me, you know, and just coming up with a formula. Like, all right, boom, we're gonna hit them with 2 songs a month and just do singles. Like before, we was doing albums, and you know, they gave people a chance to be like, all right, I like this song, but I ain't feeling track 4 or track 5, but I like track 7, so I'm gonna just listen to those. So it kind of like collectively it could do well, but certain songs on there will just like, it gives people a chance to tell what they like and what they don't like. When you give them singles, when you give them singles after single, it's like, all right, well, you could take this song. If you don't like it, somebody gonna like it, but it gives you like an outlook on it. So it's like, all right, I could see what my fans actually fucking with and what they not fucking with. And it keeps the monthlies coming in. Like it keeps like, if people follow you on Spotify, it's like, all right, I know you're about to be dropping next Tuesday because this Tuesday he ain't dropping nothing. So the following we doing it every other Tuesday. So it's like, it's just finding that formula and finding what works and then just keeping that up. And that's what we did last year, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? And this year it's looking even better. You know, last year going into this year, it's like looking so much better. My numbers is crazy. So I know once we get to that end of the year wrap up for 2021, it's gonna be
even better.
So it's all about elevation, man. It's all about it's what a small incline is better than no incline. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like we gradually going up. I'd rather go this way than just shoot up all the way, because like that shit'll get you fucked up quick. It's overwhelming, but
at least the way you're going now, you got a chance to observe everything as you're going up, so you know what not to do when you get to that level.
Exactly.
Absolutely, no doubt. Well, I know you probably haven't been able to really turn those listeners into doing shows yet, but have you started to line all of that up, like shows out of the country once the pandemic is over, and just based off of those 4.1 million listeners that you have, trying to turn that into paper, basically?
Yeah, hell yeah, for sure, man. You know, that's the beautiful thing about, you know, all of these streaming platforms, because they let you know where you hot at. They let you know where your fan base is, and you know where your strong market is, where your weak market is. So of course, once the pandemic is over and everybody could just like get back to the shows, and I know it's not just gonna be like an overnight thing, but once that come, like we right back on the road, like we right back in Canada, we right back in the West Coast, we right back on the eat, like be right back to it. Cause I live for the shows. My show game is like
your show game is
like,
bananas, son.
Come on, man. Like my energy is like, so I've been
no doubt
bottling all of this energy up for like when it's time, I'm gonna be like you niggas don't even understand.
I witnessed that live, so I know when you, and definitely when you come back to Cali, I gotta tap in with you because I definitely want to see you on stage again, man.
Yeah,
definitely,
for sure.
You bring the right energy. Yeah, no doubt. You keep that energy no matter what.
Yeah,
definitely. You bodied Funk Flex's Block Work back in October. I've seen you body every platform that you get on. What is your mindset when you getting ready to touch a new platform like that?
I'm from Connecticut, man. Like that's my mindset every time. It's like, yo, I'm a Connecticut nigga, and I'm representing a whole state. So it's like when I'm coming up there to smoke, I'm coming up there to friggin' smoke shit down and tear shit down because they always overlooking where I'm from. They like, oh, Connecticut, they got good trout over there, they got good fish. But then I don't really know too many rappers out there that get busy. So it's like when I'm coming up there, man, I'm coming fully clipped, fully prepared, no slip ups, no stumbles, no fumbles, and I'm coming ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm covering heavy punches, some of the craziest lines you ever heard in your life, nigga. I'm coming up there to smoke. So it's like, I know what I'm coming up there with, because when Flex called me, like, yo, what you got? You know what I mean? And I'm hitting him. I'm like, yo, when can I get up there? And I had that clip ready in March. I started writing in March. Once the pandemic hit, I was like, all right, this shit gonna be a little bit of time before outside open up. So let me get a clip ready, lip loaded and clipped up and spooky. So when outside open up, I'm ready, clipped up. Like, nigga, what? I'm the nigga out here with 80 bars ready. So it's like I looked at that and I looked at it. I'm like, yo, watch when this shit open. And I told Flex, I'm like, yo, when can I get up there? He called me like, yo, tomorrow, and I'm like, bet. That's what you never really know, man. You never really know when you're gonna have to be ready. That's why I always stay ready, so you don't gotta get ready, because you never know when niggas gonna call you, be like, yo, you got bars on that.
And that's your one chance. That's your one shot.
That's your one shot. You can't be like, yo, give me like a week. Nah, he's like, all right, well, we got such and such coming up, so we good on you. You never want to be that nigga. So it's like I always stayed ready. And clipped up, and the work speak for itself, man. I bodied everything, shook every building, Sway, Funk Flex, LA.
I like that. I love the attitude, my nigga. I love that shit, yo. I love that. You telling niggas, yo, I'm not playing with you niggas no more.
I'm not playing, like, cause I got to a, you get to a point where it's like, yo, you start crossing everybody on the court and dunking the ball. It's like, nigga, I could talk that shit, nigga. You see me dunk, you see me windmill it and go like, I could talk crazy when I get on the court, but when I get off, it's like, yo, appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot. I'm still a respectful nigga,
still
but
humble
like,
and respectful,
but don't get it fucked up, because I will smoke, man. Like, come on, man.
That's how it's supposed to be, man. That's hip hop, B. That's how it's supposed to fucking be, man. I love that. I love that energy, man. Definitely. All right. So you signed to Chris Webby's label, ADHD. What made you make that decision, deep down? Like, what made you say, okay, I'm already independent, but what can another independent artist like Chris Webby, who's been touring, doing everything he's been doing for a decade, how can that help you better? What made you make that decision?
Because of course, it wasn't an overnight decision, yo. I was really like contemplating on it for a while, and I'm like, yo, what are the pros and what are the cons? Obviously I could, figure out a different deal or go somewhere else that make more sense and all that other shit. But I was like, I looked at it like, Webby's a smart guy. He's super smart. He makes a lot of money off of what he's doing. He's making a lot more than your favorite rappers out here that's so lit, what I mean? He's making way more money than these niggas, you know what I'm saying? Owning all of his masters and all. Like, I learned so much from him, just being on the road with him. I'm like, oh, that work and that work. Oh, you getting this much and that, and then you getting this, and then you like, I'm soaking all that knowledge in. So it's like me putting myself in this situation was like, yo, I could learn so much from this. So when this whole shit is over and I could get out my Webby deal, I could learn, I could know everything I need to know if I'm going to a fucking Atlantic, or you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because so it's like I'm learning so much, and I'm looking at this Webby thing as a learning experience, just learning the business and learning, how this thing go and where the money's supposed to go and the merchandise. I got my own LLC. I got my own label, so my label's under Webby's label. So it's like,
okay,
I could have never did that if I was in something else. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just learning as I go and learning ownership, and this whole thing is a learning process, man. And I'm just looking at this Webby deal like, yo, I'm gonna learn so much and soak up so much knowledge from just being in this situation and the people in his circle telling me you could do this and you could do that. And I'm asking questions every day. You always want to ask questions. Yo, why is this and why is that? And why can't I get this? And what does this mean? And what does that mean? So I'm just learning as I go. And that's the only that's the main reason why I got in this situation.
That's dope. Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, if the people in your circle ain't pushing you to do better and they doing more than you, then you're in the wrong circle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So make too much sense.
The single Orangutan, man, that's my shit.
Yeah, that shit slap.
You know what I'm saying? You hyperventilating, you about to blow a bag.
Blow a bag. Yeah.
That's my joint, man. What gave you the idea to come up with that concept for that joint?
We was actually in I think we was in upstate New York. Yeah, somewhere in upstate New York, on a retreat. So Webby do these little retreat things where, he got, producer come up and everybody just come up and we just create, talk business and we just create. So I made that one on the second retreat. And, it was just an idea, JP pulled up the beat and, I was on the Douce, just like, I'm feeling good, you know what I'm saying? Go, we just coming up with ideas. And I'm like, it was cool at first, like, and that's one thing you don't really understand is like you could lay something and it could be cool and then you play it back and it sound way different. So it was one of those situations was like, all right, I'm about to lay down this idea, write this verse, and then we're gonna put it to the side and then we're gonna play it later. And then we ended up playing it later and Webby heard it and he was like, this shit slap crazy. And I'm like, yo, this shit do slap hard.
Yeah,
that shit slap.
That shit
and then we was thinking about trying to get a different feature in this shit, and we was thinking, okay, like we could probably get this person and that person. And then eventually, waiting on features is like, waiting on these niggas, you're gonna wait for like a whole 2 years before you get a verse back. So it's like, Webby was like, yo, let me see if I could do something. And I'm like, I was real like skeptical about it because Webby he in his lane. He know his lane, so it's he don't really like get out that lane too much. So I was like real skeptical, and then I heard the verse back. I'm like, okay, he getting in his bag, like he ain't in his bag, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like I got Webby out of his comfort zone and just being like, in that world, you know what I'm saying? Because this urban world is like, Webby in that boom bap, and he make fuck mumble rap and fuck all that, like, you know what I'm saying? He not really into the trap shit, so I got him into that whole world of different things, and it's lit over here now. So it's like it broadens you up and opens up your eyes just to be like, yo, don't be so like single. Open up your brain. Like music is supposed to be this. It's not just. It can't just be this the whole time.
Right.
It gets boring.
So you helping him expand some of his shit too. That's definitely dope too. No doubt, definitely. 2021, Majin Buu to kick off things. I take it you're a big anime fan, right? Because I'm not even gonna hold you. I had to Google this shit. I was like, what the fuck is a Majin Buu? I didn't even know. And then I talked to some of my peoples and they was like, yeah. And they told me about it or whatnot. Why do that joint? I mean, or is it just because you're a fan?
Honestly, bro, like, I'm not hugely into anime, but it's like I used to watch Dragon Ball Z all the time. You know what I mean? And when you put a beat on and you start, going through flows and, you start mumbling shit and it sounds like you saying, feel like Majin Buu. I'm like, it just, you feel me? It's I can't explain it as a creator. I think niggas will understand. Like if you got a group of rappers here, they will understand where I'm coming from. It's like you start mumbling shit and you drunk or you high or whatever, you in your vibe, and you start saying shit and like, oh, that shit kind of slap. And it's like,
just
why
how
am
you
I
felt.
talking about?
Yeah, that's
why
how
you?
felt.
Why am I? I don't even know why I was talking about Majin Buu. It's just the beat told me what. The beat was like, yo, just talk about this. And, I didn't even write that record down. I just laid it line for line. I'm coming up with, and that record, I did that, like two years ago, probably.
Okay.
I wrote that record like 2 years ago and we just put it out. So it's like, you never really know. And I knew it was going to be a slapper. It was like, yo, let's put this one out. I know it's special, and no, low key, that's like one of my biggest records right now. So far, that's probably the biggest record we ever put out solo. You know, because joints I do with Webby, you know, obviously gonna do well just because you know Webby got that crowd, and you know Spotify listeners is crazy. So, but Majin Buu is going crazy. We almost at like 400,000. So you know we definitely gonna hit that 500,000. You know, the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's
and hopefully we hit hopefully we hit that million in by April or something, or May. You know, whatever. It's possible.
Yeah, you got one. You definitely got one. Yeah. No
it's
doubt.
It's all about the playlisting too. Like you never really know. Like you know, certain playlists gonna fuck with certain records, man. And that's one thing I'm learning as I go. It's like, all right, or release Most Necessary gonna fuck with this record, you know, because Most Necessary is the second biggest playlist on Spotify. We got that with Majin Buu, and you know, obviously the biggest playlist on Spotify is Rap Caviar, and that's one of them ones where it's like everybody don't get on that. That's the Baby, Lil Baby, all them niggas, Drake and all them niggas,
all the heavyweights,
heavyweights. So if you get on that one, it's like it's all playlisting with this whole streaming shit, man. You get on these playlists and it's like the streams go up.
New people discover you that way.
New people, because so you need new people. You need that fresh air, because at the end of the day, that's the only way you're gonna grow is when you get a new base. Of course, you could do the same base over and over and recycle that, but it's all about expanding. And this year, I just want to expand and gain more ears, because there's so many ears that don't even know that I exist.
I know.
I'm one of the greatest ever. Like, come on, let's be real. Let's be real, baby, homie. Like, I'm one of the like, come on now. Like when I'm putting a pen to this sheet, it's like,
every time I get a chance to turn somebody else onto your shit, I'm on it. Like, and once they hear you, they're like, damn, like this nigga really is the truth. You know what I'm saying? And it just is what it is. It's the talent speaks for itself, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a day like now where everything is so microwave. You know what I'm saying?
It is super microwave.
You know, it's like you actually still take the time, and you're not the only artist that does that, but you're consistent with it. You take the time to put some thought into the shit that you put out. You know what I mean? And I just love that, man. I love that energy, man. So I'm always keep doing the same thing, bro. I'm gonna always be a fan. I'm gonna always be a supporter. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. You know,
love, man. I appreciate you. That's pretty. I appreciate definitely. You know, and this year I'm trying to find that balance of just like, you know, I could give you the Majin Buu where it's a trap, you know, chilling, we just cooling, and then I could give you a Hubbard Street right after it, the week after, and give you some substance. So I'm trying to find that balance of like, you know, having fun and staying on these playlists that's lit and that can give me the streaming money and all that, but still keep me in that conversation as one of the greatest pens ever. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to find that balance. And I feel like right now I'm just giving people that, like, everything. I'm giving you this after that after this. So it's like you can't really complain. You can't really complain when I give you a Majin Buu if I gave you a Hubbard after it. So it's
absolutely.
That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah. You know I mean, I still think there's a lot of old joints, you know what I'm saying? Like Cardboard Box and shit. Like joints that people that don't know you may never get a chance to listen to because it was on an earlier project, unless they're like us, where they get a new artist that they start fucking with, and then they go back and listen to that person's catalog. You know what I'm saying? But so there's plenty of joints in your catalog like that, man. Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's one thing I'm gonna do this year is like definitely make people draw back to the older records. I came up with an idea where it's like Once in a Burgundy Moon. It's the 5th anniversary this year, so it's gonna be the 5-year anniversary this year in February. So one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna probably just re-release it like on a physical CD and add like five records that I did back in the day that never came out, and just put them on there and just sell them for $100, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I only get 100. I only got 100 of them, but you know, like, come on, you do the math. I could definitely. Out of all my followers on the gram and Twitter, like I could definitely sell 100 CDs, and you know, it's just go back into the business and do it all over again. This year is all like we don't got tours, so I got to come up with ideas.
You got to come up with it, to get money. Come up with it, get it, absolutely.
You know and also, and it's like it makes too much sense because it gives you that it makes you bread, and it draws people back to the old music, which is gonna make you bread when they stream it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a win-win. It makes too much sense.
Yeah,
you know, it crosses off everything off the list.
Yeah. I mean, that brings me to my last question. Like, you've released a project every year since 2015, except after like 2018. So you did Summer in Cincinnati, Once in a Burgundy Moon, Autumn in Cincinnati, A Time and a Place, and Blame It on Jay-Z. And then Yuck with Static Selector, you did Yuck. And then last year we saw nothing but singles. So are you going to continue with the singles, or are you going to give us a full project?
You know, I've been itching to do a project, bro. Like, you know, obviously I'm a project artist. Like, you know, let's be real. Like, you know, my catalog crazy. Like when I'm putting together an album, it's special, and it's like an art piece. So of course I want to bring it back to that essence, but I feel like right now it's just the game's changed, and I want to make sure people, you know, digest everything at once. So I'm gonna keep giving them single after single after single probably this year, and maybe next year. You know, if the numbers looking right, if the monthly listener is crazy, you know, my Instagram is like 100,000. You know what I'm saying? 200,000 followers. Then it makes sense to be like, all right, let's put out a project now because we know we got the base, so the project is gonna do well. I want people to be like, yo, we need another album. ANoyd. We need an ANoyd album.
I'm telling you right now, we need another album.
Yeah, like I feel you, but I want everybody to be begging me in the comments.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
Album. I need this. Like,
you want to build it up.
Right.
Yeah, you want to build that anticipation up. Yeah, definitely.
But for now, niggas could go back and go listen to Cardboard Box, Altitude. You know, all the ones in the burger. Come on now, we got Abort Mission. I got so many records that's like
you got
timeless.
Joints, man. You got Joints,
timeless record, and not everybody know them records. So nah,
Rain is still one of my joints.
Rain.
Fucking Floor Chandeliers.
Like
you got joints, man. You got plenty of joints, man, in the catalog, bro. For real.
They gonna have to wait, man. They gonna have to wait, man.
It's all good. You know, I'm be tapped in anyway, so it's all good.
No doubt, bro. No doubt.
So, any last words, man, you want to give out to the listeners of Validated Radio? You know what I'm saying? The readers and everybody at 10 TV. Anything that we didn't touch base on that you just want the people to know?
You know, just stay tapped in, man. I'm gonna be dropping some of my favorite records that I ever wrote this year. You know what I mean? And just I feel like potential huge singles that's like worldwide records, you know what I mean? And we was holding off on them for a while, but I feel like this year is definitely the time to put them into play. And, you know, subscribe to my YouTube because we definitely going to be dropping mad visuals because the people got to see my face. If they can't see my face on stage, they got to see my face on YouTube and as far as visuals go. So just subscribe to the YouTube, follow me on the gram. I'm going to be dropping freestyles. I got throwaway bars on deck. I'm about to drop one of those next week. I got another single coming on February 2nd. And then I got another video dropping in February. So I'm trying to give people at least a visual a month, 2 songs a month with a video, throwaway bars. I'm about to get my merchandise right. So I'm about to have some nice merch on deck, you know what I mean? And, you know, hopefully this year, you know, everybody get their shit together so we can get on the road next year and I can come out to LA and tear shit down, man.
Definitely. Got to. No doubt, definitely. So on social media, you living ANoyd across the board?
Living ANoyd across the board, LIVINANOYD. You can type in ANoyd on the search box and you'll see me with the blue check. You know, so,
that's what it is.
You know,
verified all the way.
Verified. So you can't fake this ANoyd over here, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yo, ANoyd, man, thank you for tuning in and coming in and chopping it up with us on the Essence, man. This is what this show is about, man. You know what I'm saying? I always try to keep it at the essence of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And you one of those artists that exemplify that. And I thank you for coming in and spending some time with me today, bro.
You know, I always got you, big homie. Whatever you need, you already know. You can hit my phone, hit my line, and I'm there.
That's what it is, bro. All right, my brother. I'll tap in with you on the next one.
All right, King. Bless.
All right.